Alright, I'm going to talk about the first 40 minutes of Trent's 2-hour spectacular, still celebrating 1 million uploaded views. I know, I'm not going to watch a 2-hour movie. It's like a 2-hour epic adventure. Oh yeah, sure, go ahead, don't watch that. You go ahead and just eat whatever Hollywood spoon feeds you. Don't let one of your own tribe members do something epic and enjoy it, for goodness sake. Alright, so here's what I enjoyed about it. First of all, meeting Cowie, that was awesome. I was interested to see if Cowie was going to be more talkative with someone else in his video. No, Cowie, the insane Hawaiian, stays true to form. He's just like, Mickey's. That's all he needed to say. That's what he had, that's what he was going to drink. Really, what more do you need to say? Mickey's. I'm going to start saying that. Alright, then Trent, then he goes to like a sidewalk area where it's like these benches where people are meeting. And there were some dodgy characters there. And one of the quotes I liked a lot was a guy was telling a story, and you could just hear him say, I played this back a couple times, I liked it so much. I was trying to pee into the bottle, but I couldn't keep my eyes open. And then just like every time you get a large amount of dodgy people together, they all have to verbally establish that none of them are thieves. They all have to verbally establish they're all brave and willing to fight. Someone said something like, well, you have to stay and fight because you wear flip-flops all the time. You can't run away in flip-flops, something like that. That was good. One of the guys there thought Trent was a cop, probably trying to entrap people for just public intoxication. I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, Trent got someone to drink a 40 in 10 minutes, except the guy poured it into a glass of ice and then drank it. Not sure, I guess that was just his idea. That was his style. At first I was a little shocked, but I'm like, oh, gosh, man, it's just good that someone stepped up to the plate and did it. Let's see, there was that one dodgy guy that I think it was he left his cigarettes on a bench. And he came back to the bench he thought it was, and there was a bunch of people sitting there, and he's like, did I leave my smokes here? And everyone's like, no. And then the guy was like willing to fight one of the guys because he's sure he left his smokes there. And then another guy, while he's watching this fight get started, stands up, walks over to some other benches and says, is that your smokes right over there on that bench? The guy's like, oh yeah, that's where I was sitting. And then the way the guy goes to make amends is he tells a story of another misunderstanding that he found himself into earlier. And then while explaining that story, one of his friends goes to leave and he just jumps up and runs off. Probably left his smokes behind again. And the reason why I really like that guy is he is kind of helpless to the things happening in his life. Like, he was going to end up fighting a guy over a pack of smokes, except for a stranger, a bystander, got up and actually looked in another place where smokes might be. Now this didn't occur to that guy. So like, I just like the fact that this guy's going to go through life. These things aren't going to occur to him. Well, I'll just check either side, these other benches that are duplicate benches. Maybe I'm just confused about where I was sitting. Because here's the thing, I was just thinking like, that's not a bad way to live. He's just in the moment, and he's not going to think about things too much. He's not going to consider possibilities. And so that's going to lead to him getting beaten up on the sidewalk over packs of smoke sometimes, but I assume it also leads to some pretty amazing successes. I can't even imagine what they are, because I overthink things. I'm not like this guy, living in the moment. Oh yeah, Trent goes up onto a bridge, and there's a violinist rocking out, and man, I really want to learn how to play the violin. And so this guy's rocking out, people are giving him money, and this sexy woman starts dancing in front of him, and I'm like, now I really want to play the violin. And then this other guy comes up and kicks off his shoes, and he starts dancing, and then they start dancing together, and Trent's there drinking a 40. Some people get in Trent's way, like between him and the camera, and I think this was in a different scene, and one of the guys is gigantic, and Trent's like, hey guy, you're blocking my camera. And the other guy's like, we're trying to take a picture. He's like, well, take the picture already. And they're standing there forever. And then the guy like tries to like bump by Trent, like even almost kind of wraps his arm around him like he's gonna take Trent with him. It's just like, that's the other thing about people, like, part of going places is I might have to fight somebody. Just that weird mindset. Like, I know a guy came to work when I was a messenger downtown, and he brought a big hunting knife. And I'm like, why the hell do you have a giant hunting knife, man? He's like, well, in case anybody starts something. I'm like, really? You came to go work at a place where you thought you might have to drive a 6-inch hunting knife into somebody? He's like, well, I don't know. It's downtown, man. And I'm like, well, why don't you just go ahead and put that in your locker? Actually, if you could not stab anybody while you're working downtown, that'd be great. That would be part of your training. Oh, God. Then Trent goes into a food court while he's waiting for his to-go McDonald's to-go order. He cracks a 40, which it's just kind of jarring. You know, like that it's like out of place. Kind of like the laundromat drinking. Oh, and then here's actually where I think I stopped. Trent's out on the sidewalk. Flows of people are going by him. One girl says as they're passing the camera, and Trent's kind of off in the distance. This girl walks by the camera and says, "That's the guy I was telling you about." So people are walking up and down the strip talking about him. And lots of people walk by and say, "Oh-ee," or something like that. "Oh, 40." Oh, this one guy stops and wants to get his picture taken with Trent. Trent's like doing the thumbs up thing. And the woman can't, his girlfriend, the guy that he wants his picture taken, can't get the picture taken. And the guy goes, you guys like patient and smiling, and he starts straightening up. Finally says, "Woman, you're messing up my buzz." So where I ended. So Trent is on the sidewalk, walking around the 40. Not much is happening. There's these 3 girls walking down and a bunch of guys kind of following them. And this one guy's like making a move and holding up his phone like, yeah, come on baby, slip me the digits. And this one girl, she's got her hair in this cool high bun, these really rocking shorts. She's really rocking those shorts. And Trent just kind of walks up to him. He's like, this guy's trying to like get lucky, get this girl's number. Trent's like, you know what? I should get involved in this. And he walks up and he starts chatting with one of the girls. And soon all 3 of the girls are looking at him and chatting with him. And that's where I stopped. Because that's epic, and I can't. That's like a good thing to stop. I want to start there again and watch the rest of it. So there. Now, if you've watched all this and like, oh, I won't watch Trent's video, at least you have an idea what you're missing. I really think you should support Trent because he's epic. The stuff he's doing is epic, and like, really, as a community, as a community entertaining one another. He's trying really hard. So no matter what you think about him, you can't ignore the fact that he's trying really hard. So I appreciate it. I think you should too. All right, see you in the tubes.